It's good to see you again. We're proceeding in this venture of the possibility that through a decision of your own mind, called A Course in Miracles, you can actually change your mind about who you thought you were and what you will become in the consequence of that change is the realization that you are all that ever could be or was with an eternal reality. We're trying to look at how much progress we're actually making here, and it occurred to me that suddenly Mitch, who produces, is that true, Mitch?
Yes.
He produces these ideas that we could possibly come together and begin to practice this Course in Miracles. And he said to me, ready. What we've come to realize in the transformation of the ideas of our false association with ourselves, that in a particular fashion, all we do is remain ready. When you walked in here with me, should we try it? Because we're getting a lot of calls about people who are beginning to have this experience in time and space that is actually showing them that it's time for them to begin to realize that all of the practices of their conceptual thought about who they were based on a moment of separation. And since they want to change their mind, they learn to remember the last one about the Heisenberg uncertainty. What they've evolved in this mind training is a decision simply to confess that you never know for sure who you are or what you're doing. The amazing thing is not that. The amazing thing is this. At this moment, it could be very likely that wherever you are, whatever time and space you think you're actually beginning to enter in to a here and now. Look at me. What I offered you was the release of the defenses of the conceptual self that has been plaguing you with the idea that you had to justify your own association with yourself. All of these lessons, which come from the resurrected mind of who we call Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who is a forerunner of the inevitability of your transition as a Homo sapien, as a part of this species, that you are in that transition from the idea of space-time, from the idea of a collaboration that you thought would be necessary, say, between the objective things that you see in your mind that trap you in a particular place in space-time where there is no alternative available to you. Those of you who are having that experience right there, okay, have fulfilled a very fundamental requirement of this mind training. You must begin to have an experience of an alternative, or it would obviously be impossible for you to begin to participate in the holy instances that will accumulate and bring about the realization that you are in fact whole and perfect. We're going to take just a moment, if it's okay with you now, and we're going to go back and set the stage. I hope you'll tolerate the redundancy of this for those of you who haven't maybe seen the previous videos. We're going to go back and repeat lesson number 7, which says very simply that when you began to encounter me here, you were seeing only your own past associations. We're going to try to show you how to deal with time in a new way. Watch this. I see only the past. This idea is particularly difficult to believe at first, yet it is the rationale for all of the first 6 lessons that we practice and is the beginning point to a step out of time. It is the reason why nothing that you see means anything. It's the reason why you have given everything you see all the meaning that it has. It is the reason why you do not understand anything you see. It's the reason why your thoughts do not mean anything, and why they are like the things that you see, as meaningless as are you. It's the reason why you're never upset for the reason that you think, that it's the reason why you're upset because you see something that is not there, all because you see only the past. Old ideas about time are very difficult to change because everything you believe is rooted in time and depends on your not learning these new ideas about it. Yet that is precisely why you need new ideas about time. This first-time idea is not really so strange at all if you look at it. Look at this cup. Do you see a cup? Or are you merely reviewing your past experience of picking up a cup, being thirsty, drinking from a cup, feeling the rim of a cup against your lips, having breakfast, and so on? Are not your aesthetic reactions to the cup, too, based on past experiences? How else would you know whether or not this kind of cup will break if you drop it? What do you know about this cup except what you learned in the past? You would have no idea what this cup is except for your past learning. Do you then really see it at all? Look about you. This is equally true of whatever you look at. Everything that you see is always over and gone. Each moment, in all of time, you exist in the entirety of this space, here and now. Now let's catch up to some very late time. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see nothing as it is now. My thoughts do not mean anything. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. I'm upset because I see a meaningless world. A meaningless world engenders fear. God did not create a meaningless world. My thoughts are images that I have made. I have no neutral thoughts. I see no neutral things. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. I am determined to see. I am determined to see things differently. What I see is a form of vengeance, and I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. So here we are back, and besides showing you that you saw only the past, we reviewed very quickly the lessons running from lesson number 7 on up through 8, 9, 10, up to 23. Lesson 23 says that your grievances, the idea of the necessity for a defense of yourself within your own conceptual association of what you thought you were, have bound you to the idea that you would actually be locked somehow in this formulation of a body within a positive illusion of a correspondence of light energy that actually reveals absolutely nothing and is over and gone. There's a great deal of joy in the kingdom, starting with your fundamental admission that you're the cause of it, spreading to the idea, and these are the lessons for today, that you want to change your mind about what you are. You're not content, okay? There's a fundamental admission that everything you've done is a grievance, isn't there? Because it appears that in the defense of yourself, you can actually find love and security and happiness. The simple truth of the matter is, all human conditions in objective time are expressing a rejection of the entirety of their reality. It's based very simply on the fact that they can't find within themselves the provision that would show them a complete alternative, a new centering in space-time that I'm offering you right now. Well, what am I showing you now? Right there. Did you see? Can you say to me, here and now? Say, here and now. Huh? Here and now is where we're going to perform the act of an alternative. What were the requirements of this mind training? That we stay in the ready. Your whole practice in this little 20-minute book were to prepare you as you go out into the world to begin to say, yes, I'm operating here, I'm in the office, I'm in the kitchen, I'm on my way to work, I'm looking for something to eat, I'm in a mission, I've been rejected, I'm unhappy, yet I know somewhere present with me in this condition is another reality.